Hello everyone, Tom with Capo Fetish. Let's talk about some of our favorite Neil Young archival releases today. Neil Young has been cranking out archival releases now for years. It seems like literally like weekly there's another archival release, that's apart from like the box sets he's been releasing. He's released like 3 massive box sets. So I'm going to talk about 8 of my favorites that he's released probably in the past 10, 15 years. I mean, there's so many to keep up with, but there are so many that are really, really good, really stellar releases. So I'm going to start off here with one from 1968. This is the Sugar Mountain live at Canterbury House in 68, recorded at Ann Arbor, Michigan. This catches Neil Young in a very early stage of his solo career. The first album, Neil Young, I think had just been released or is going to be released at this point. And he's dishing out tunes from his solo album, his self-titled solo album, plus Buffalo Springfield tracks. Now, this is notable for the track Sugar Mountain. Now, Sugar Mountain was never released on an official Neil Young album. It was released as a B-side to Cinnamon Girl and the Loner. And this version that's on here is the one that was played on the radio all those years. You hear a cough at the end. That was from this particular performance. So you get the full, you even get the intro to Sugar Mountain on here, plus the full Sugar Mountain performance. Some of the highlights in here are just fantastic. His version of Expecting to Fly is amazing. He does The Loner from the solo album. He does I've Been Waiting for You, The Old Laughing Lady, Broken Arrow. It really shows Neil Young. He's really kind of timid and a little tentative in this performance. Very shy between songs. He's just starting out here as a solo performer. So, and it literally sounds like there's about 10 people in the audience. It's just very meager clapping going on. No one really knows him that well. It seems like they clap a little more when they hear a Buffalo Springfield track, but it's amazing. Just within a couple of years, or within even like a year or so, he would become just huge as a solo artist and with Crosby, Stills and Nash. But right here, he's starting out fresh, and it's really cool to hear him in this really early stage as a solo performer. So love this Sugar Mountain live at Canterbury House, 1968, a must-have if you're collecting these Neil Young archival releases. Another one is an album that was never released. It was recorded in Malibu, in a studio in Malibu in 76 in one night. It's just Neil with acoustic guitar, and the album is called Hitchhiker. It sounds like it's just one take after another. There's no embellishments. There's no overdubs. You get acoustic versions of Pocahontas on here. Powderfinger, acoustic version, really, really cool version. Captain Kennedy, Hawaii, Give Me Strength, Ride My Llama, a song called Hitchhiker, Campaigner, which was on Decade, the compilation Human Highway, and the Old Country Waltz. I think that might have been on American Stars and Bars. But here you get all these tracks recorded basically, sounds like one take, Neil and a guitar, very, very raw, very basic, really, really cool stuff, very intimate as well. So another great archival release, The Hitchhiker from Neil Young, just Neil solo with acoustic guitar, about 11 or 12 songs on here. There's another one that's been released, and there's been a lot of archival releases from his just golden period, his solo golden period from like 70, 71. This is one of the greatest ones. Young Shakespeare, recorded in Stratford, Connecticut, recorded on January 22nd, 1971, just a few days after his Massie Hall performance. This is really, really strong. Basically, just like not a bad track on here, starting with Tell Me Why, off of After the Gold Rush, and pretty much replicates pretty much the set he would play at Massie Hall, which we'll talk about soon. But yeah, just another stellar recording. Sounds like you're there. He's right in your face. And the set list is absolutely perfection, mostly containing songs from After the Gold Rush, some songs that would later appear on Harvest, and a few from Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, and I think a few from the Buffalo Springfield days. But yeah, just stellar stuff here. Young Shakespeare from Neil Young, another awesome archival release. Here's an album called Chrome Dreams that he held back in 1977, and he released American Stars and Bars instead. This was just released a few years back. This is really, really good. Really fine album here. You have Too Far Gone on here. Will to Love, which I believe was on American Stars and Bars, and Star of Bethlehem, and Like a Hurricane. You have String Man on here. You get studio versions of Sedan Delivery, which was on Rust Never Sleep. Lot of Love, which was on Comes a Time. You got Hold Back the Tears, Homegrown, Pocahontas. A lot of these songs are just interchangeable between different releases, but I think if they had released this rather than, I think American Stars and Bars is a fine album, but I think this one has a really nice flow to it. I like the fact that Sedan Delivery is on here. It's one of my favorite, like late 70s Neil Young tracks, and it's done here in a very raw form. Actually, a little more. It sounds like it's a little more timid than the version on Rust Never Sleeps, but it's fantastic. This is another great release here. Chrome Dreams from Neil Young, from his massive archival collection that he's been releasing. And another album that was released, another album basically that was held back for about 45 years. It was recorded after the release of On the Beach. The album's called Homegrown. This is another just real laid back, very kind of more sensitive type Neil Young album. And you got Separate Ways on here, Mexico, Love is a Rose, Homegrown, Florida, Kansas, We Don't Smoke It No More, White Line, Vacancy, Little Wing, Star of Bethlehem, and makes another appearance. But yeah, this has a really nice flow, and don't know why it wasn't released back in '74, but it was held back for decades. It's now part of the archival releases. So fantastic stuff. Homegrown, Neil Young, another great like unreleased solo album here. This is one of my favorites, my absolute favorites. Roxy, Tonight's the Night, live Neil Young, where he plays the complete, almost the complete Tonight's the Night album at the Roxy, and you could tell the audience is really ready to hear some classic Neil Young, and he is just not delivering. He is delivering all these like dark tracks that no one's ever heard before. They're respectful, but you could tell that they're impatient. They're waiting for more well-known tracks, probably from Harvest or Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, etc. But I got to tell you, some of these tracks on here sound even better than the studio version of Tonight's the Night. I'm blown away how they can churn out the song New Mama with those really amazing backup vocals, and they put it forth so well here in the live setting. I just love that song New Mama. The backup vocals, the harmonies are so incredible. Other tracks on here that blow my mind are like Mellow My Mind is even better than the studio version, I think. Speaking Out, Albuquerque. He treats the audience to an unreleased song at this point at the very end. On this particular version, he has Walk On, the lead-off track from On the Beach, which ends the album. So he plays basically, at least in this particular recording, he plays nothing from his back catalog. It's all new material, typical Neil Young, completely sparring with the audience. But the performance is fantastic, and I think Neil is a little on the tipsy side in this performance, which adds a little humor to the spectacle. So good stuff here. Love this album. Roxy, Tonight's the Night, basically his version of Tonight's the Night live on stage with Crazy Horse, Nils Lofgren. Good stuff. One of the best releases, though, is this just fantastic early Crazy Horse performance live at the Fillmore East in 1970. And for some reason, Cinnamon Girl isn't on here, but it starts off with Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. You've got the original Crazy Horse playing, Danny Whitten, Billy Tabbitt. You've got Ralph Molina, and I think you got Jack Nietzsche on piano keyboards. And this is like a completely different live Crazy Horse than about 9 years later or 8 years later on Rust Never Sleeps. It's not as bombastic, should we say. It's a little more raw, garagey sounding. And Danny Whitten just provides so many great moments on here with his backup vocals and his rhythm guitar playing. Some of the highlights on here for me are an early version, live version of Winterlong. God, that's a great track. And a track called Wonderin', which was never released on any album, has this kind of country rock vibe. Of course, Danny Whitten's Come On Baby, Let's Go Downtown is on here, which would later feature on the studio Tonight's the Night album. Just an absolute, there's like only 6 tracks on here, but just a stellar performance. One of the best live versions I've ever heard of Cowgirl in the Sand, with Jack Nietzsche's electric piano on there, really up front and center. Really, really cool. Of course, you've got Down by the River on here. Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere starts it off. Just an absolute must-have for any Neil Young collection or just rock collection. Good stuff. But for me, the absolute jewel of Neil Young's archival releases is this Massie Hall performance from 1971. I heard after this was recorded, they did want to release this. I think his manager wanted to release this as a full-on, you know, not a studio recording, but just a full-on commercial recording, but they never did. It is one of the most amazing rock, acoustic, whatever you want to call it, performances I've ever heard. Just the mix, it sounds like Neil Young is in your living room. His vocals are right up front in your face. His playing, you can hear every note on his acoustic guitar. The set list is absolutely stellar from start to finish. I mean, it's just a perfect 5-star live recording. Starting off with On the Way Home, the Buffalo Springfield track from Last Time Around. Incredible. Tell Me Why, Old Man, Journey Through the Past, Helpless, Love in Mind, A Man Needs a Maid, Heart of Gold, Cowgirl in the Sand, Don't Let It Bring You Down, which is such an amazing version on here. There's a World from Harvest, Bad Fog of Loneliness, The Needle and the Damage Done, Ohio, See the Sky About to Rain, which would later appear on the Beach. And then Down by the River, Dance, 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 and it ends with Buffalo Springfield track, I Am a Child. Just an absolutely stellar archival release from Neil Young. This, to me, is the best one I have heard so far. And I haven't picked up all of them. I think I've picked up about 3/4 of them. Some of them I just have to say no to because it's like, how many do you need, right? But I just wanted to focus on these 8 today and show you these amazing albums. If you've never heard any of these, check these out, especially these top 3, the Massie Hall, the Tonight's the Night one, and the Live at the Fillmore in 70. Those 3 must be listened to. So if you have any more to add to the list, let me know in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching. If you dig the content across the channel, press subscribe. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.